We live in the age of infinite information. A singularity of data where every historical document, every scientific theory, and every fleeting thought is instantly accessible. Yet, paradoxically, the more information we accumulate, the less certain we are of anything. The objective truth, once a shared compass, has been diluted into a mere preference. It's not a search for knowledge anymore, it's an exhausting exercise in filtering noise. This feeling of fatigue is crucial. It's the moment critical thinking stops being rewarding and starts being a chore. When faced with an overwhelming ocean of contradictory evidence, each side armed with polished experts and persuasive videos, the brain defaults to a cognitive shortcut. We stop weighing the evidence and start weighing the emotional comfort of the narrative we prefer. Consider the fact-checker. It was supposed to be the referee, the impartial adjudicator of the digital age. But in the polarized arena, even the act of verification is seen as a political maneuver. To one group, the fact-checker is a hero. To the opposing side, they are part of the conspiracy, a gatekeeper guarding a manufactured reality. This erosion of trust is foundational. We don't just doubt the news, we doubt the scientific method, the motives of institutions, and ultimately, the very possibility of a shared objective reality. The shared cultural anchor is gone. We drift, tethered only to the niche communities that validate our deepest anxieties and fears. The mechanism that feeds this erosion is the algorithm. It is the architect of our personalized realities, constantly optimizing for engagement, not for enlightenment. It learns what keeps our eyes glued to the screen, and it serves it without judgment, be it uncomfortable truth or intoxicating fiction. The result is that filter bubble, amplified to a catastrophic scale. We are not just hearing our own opinions echoed, we are sealed off from any perspective that challenges our worldview. The external world becomes irrelevant, replaced by a hyper-curated loop of self-confirming dogma. This is where the truth officially becomes a secondary concern. The human mind, fundamentally, prefers coherence over complexity. We are hardwired to seek closure and reject ambiguity. This preference is ruthlessly exploited. The sophisticated lie that offers a clean, singular villain and a simple explanation will always be more appealing than the messy, multi-layered, and unsatisfying truth. This isn't just about political polarization, it permeates every sphere. From wellness trends to historical revisionism, from scientific debates to cultural critique. The commitment is not to what is real, but to what feels right. The feeling of belonging to the unenlightened few who know the real story is the ultimate reward. In this landscape, expertise itself is weaponized. Why trust a PhD with decades of study when your preferred influencer, who speaks your language and shares your grievances, offers a more immediate, satisfying counter-narrative? The credential is no longer a sign of knowledge but a sign of alignment with an establishment. We are witnessing the ultimate commodification of meaning. Truth is now a niche market. You can subscribe to the truth that makes you feel powerful, the truth that confirms your victimhood, or the truth that promises ultimate salvation. Each version is impeccably packaged and optimized for emotional resonance. But what is the cost of this selective deafness? The real-world consequences are profound. When consensus on reality disappears, collective action becomes impossible. We can't fix a problem if we can't even agree that the problem exists. Climate change, public health, geopolitical stability, all become stalled by narrative warfare. The solution isn't to simply demand a return to old authorities, which have often proven fallible. The solution lies not in more facts, but in a radical shift in how we approach the available information. We need to cultivate an internal resistance to the comfort of the easy answer. We must learn to tolerate the friction of complexity. The challenge is accepting intellectual humility. True learning begins not with proving you are right, but with admitting the high probability that you are wrong, or at least incomplete. This admission is terrifying because in the digital landscape, being wrong is instantly penalized by your tribe and celebrated by your rivals. We must actively seek out the friction, the sources that make us genuinely uncomfortable, not to convert us, but to test the resilience of our own framework. If your worldview cannot withstand a rigorous, intelligent challenge, then it is a house built on sand, designed for comfort, not for truth. The language itself has been corrupted. Words like fake, crisis, and fact are now devoid of consistent meaning, used merely as bludgeons to terminate dialogue. When the tools of communication are broken, the shared ground necessary for a functioning society dissolves completely. We are transitioning from the information age to the authenticity age. People crave connection and meaning, and if the established institutions fail to provide an honest, human narrative, they will turn to charismatic figures who offer emotional certainty, even if the facts behind them are fabricated. This is the core tragedy. The constant availability of truth has paradoxically rendered it meaningless. Like a sound played too often, it becomes noise. We are so saturated with potential knowledge that we treat it like background static, something to be ignored in favor of the curated playlist of our own biases. The ultimate goal of the powerful is not to lie outright, but to flood the zone with so much plausible, contradictory information that the average person gives up on the search for truth entirely. The exhaustion is the victory. A fatigued citizen is a passive citizen, content to let others do the thinking. So, how do we begin the reconstruction? We start by treating doubt not as a weakness, but as a discipline. We must cultivate a deep skepticism of our own certainty. If a piece of information makes us feel too good, too righteous, or too smug, it is precisely the moment to question its origin and motive. It requires a moral commitment to the laborious process of verification. It means giving the benefit of the doubt to complexity over simplicity, and prioritizing nuance over outrage. We must value the process of inquiry above the immediate gratification of having an answer. We must also stop judging intentions based on outcomes. A person can be factually wrong and still be intellectually honest. Conversely, a person can cite correct facts while having dishonest, malicious motives. Focus on the method, not the membership card. The digital world promises omniscience but delivers division. To regain any sense of shared reality, we have to voluntarily unplug from the loop of endless confirmation. We need moments of digital silence to allow our internal compass to recalibrate, free from the algorithm's manipulative tug. The obsolescence of truth is not an inevitable endpoint, but a choice. It is the result of millions of small, collective decisions to choose comfort over confrontation, simplicity over complexity, and tribal belonging over intellectual integrity. We have the power to reverse this trajectory, but it starts with radical self-honesty. True freedom is the freedom to change your mind, to admit error, and to pursue knowledge wherever it leads, regardless of how uncomfortable it makes your current identity. Only by embracing the ongoing, messy, and eternal search can we hope to restore what we have so carelessly discarded, a belief in the possibility of shared, verifiable truth.